Hi, this is Gina Brandstetter with Stampin' Heaven, and I am here with the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Box. Today is day 12. It is our final day of crafting, and I've got something very special to share with you. Before we open day 12, let's take a look at all the products that we have gotten so far. On the first day, we opened we opened some little dies. There are different shapes that coordinate with the stamp set that comes along with the Advent box. So we've got some flower shaped dies, a little rainbow die, some butterflies. On day two, we got 20 sheets of paper. I've got just a little bit left, some scraps, some others that I will be playing with today. On day three, we got gold gems. These are loose. You can use them as shakers or you can add them to your project as embellishments. Day four, we got some gold embossed sentiment shapes, assorted different sizes. Day five, some mask or stencils, whatever you like to call them. There's some flowers and leaves and also a little stencil painting brush. On day six, we got puffy stickers. Day seven, more dies, postage shaped dies in various sizes. There are 5 there. Day eight, twine in pink and misty blue. Day 9, more assorted printed die cut shapes, some 3x4 cards. Day 10, we have some shimmery shaker embellishments you can use for shakers, or you can actually glue them onto your project. And then yesterday, day 11, some gold glitter glue. So look at all these products that we have gotten so far in our 12 days of Advent box. Okay, are you ready? Ready? Let's open up day 12. Oh, it looks like some laser cut images and more 3x4 cards. Let's take a closer look. These are some really delicate laser cut images. I'll just hold them up here. We've got assorted leaves, little flower branches, some flower wreaths, some die cut circles. We see another type of leaf. And then in the 3x4 cards, these are white embossed cards. Here is a little flower print. There are 3 of each of these. There are 2 different styles. You can see that. All right, let's get started on our day 12 project. I'm going to try to incorporate as many of these products as I can into the project that I am going to do for you today. Okay, let's see what we can create with the day 12 product. I am going to create a layout, and I have already kind of started it to get a little jump start. And let me just go over the papers that I used and the cardstock. So this is Misty Moonlight cardstock. It's just Misty Moonlight. So we have light side, which is our base, and then we have the dark side or the true color of Misty Moonlight. I'm also using this paper that is the blue and white daisies. And I added in a little piece of the paper that I used yesterday on the layout. And I had this one piece left over, and I thought, well, it looks really good with this other daisy paper, so I will work it in. So I've got those 2 papers. Now I have matted my photos already, and I have them ready to put on. Before I do that, I do want to pull out these little 3x4 embossed pieces that we got in today's product. I just don't know how well that shows up in the light, but I want to show you what I'm going to do with those. Of course, I said we had 3, and I had already colored one, and I want to show you how I did that. Let's just set this aside for a minute. And I'm going to pull over a piece of scrap paper. Do you remember the brayers? At one time, brayers were very popular and we were using them all the time. I have not used mine in a really long time, and I pulled it out today to use that. Now I've got these little pieces, and I'm going to make sure that these little tiny flowers are raised. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use crushed curry and ink pad. Going to ink this up really good on the brayer. Make sure my brayer is covered really well. First, I'm going to go over it light so you can see what it looks like. Now, if this was a 3D embossed piece, this would work really great and only the flowers would get colored. So when you go over it really light, you can see that it picks up some of those parts that are not raised. And because it's not 3D and raised a whole lot, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just mashing it. I'm putting pressure on my brayer just to get some of that other color on there. It's a little bit darker. Okay. Think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to leave this piece. I don't know if I'm going to need it, so I won't color it. I may want to use that on a different project. Okay, let's set my brayer over here, and let's bring my layout back. And I'll show you where I want to use this. I'm going to have to bring my paper trimmer over. I have got this little space right here. It's 2.5 by 2. And I want to fill it in with this. So let's just trim that up. I'm going to put this in here horizontally. I'm going to cut it to the 2 inches. And let's cut it at 2.5. It should fit right in there perfectly. Let's just check. That is perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and add that to the page. Okay, let's go ahead and add the photos, or I'm going to place them on my layout, and let's just see what other things I want to add to it. So I have this beautiful photo of me and my daughters when we went to the beach. This was several years ago before they had any children. And we took a long weekend and spent the weekend together at my sister, her beach house. And I have these photos that I wanted to use on this layout. I just thought the blues and the yellows worked really well. Now I do have these matted. These are matted on the light side of Misty Moonlight with white. I tried several different combinations to see what I thought worked best, either no mats or opposite, blue, then white. And so I finally just decided to go with this just to add a little bit more white. So I'm sure about the placement on these. So I'm going to go ahead and add these to the layout. I'm leaving about 1/4 of an inch around. And we'll add these. place this about like this. Now, I have these sentiment shapes, and I thought this would be a perfect one to put right here. And I'm just going to kind of play with things to see what I like. Oh, I was going to tie some twine around that. I think I can pull that up before it's down there too long. Let's just pull a piece of twine out. There we go. Let's do a couple. Oops. Let's make it just a little bit longer. I hate it when I think of these things after I've already got something down and I was like, oh, I was going to do that. Because we want to include trying to get as many of our 12 days of crafting products on this layout as I can. Okay. So I wrap that around a couple of times. Let's just spread that out so we can tell. And let's just snip that. There. Okay. So we have that, and let's pull out, I just want to kind of lay these out. I don't want to forget that I want to use those. Now this is a bigger circle. I could use the bigger circle here. I'm just going to, I could actually layer it. I'm going to just let that sit for a minute. Let's focus on this right page a minute, and I'll show you what I want to do. I'm not matting these photos, but I feel like they do need something. So I think I'm going to cut some pieces and add this to each photo. So this is looks like it's about 3/4 of an inch. Let's see what I laid there. Yeah, that's 3/4. So let's cut a couple of these at 3/4. And I do need this one. Put this one in at 3/4. I may add more, but let's just take a look first. And I have this piece that's a 1/2 inch. We might could put that at the top. And think, let's try this. Okay, the other two pictures are done, and you will see that I didn't tie a knot to this one. I just kind of left it in the center, and I did my knot on this side and this side of the photos. My title is actually a Cricut cut title, just the word beach, and the beach part is what is the Cricut, and actually it says on the beach. No, on beach time, that's what it says. So let me get my glue and let's go ahead and see, do I want to pop this up? Let me show you what I did for the whole title. If I can find all the pieces here. On beach time. So I had a little piece of scrap paper left of one of the blue and white floral prints. And I used, again, the a la mode alphabet dies for the words on time. And by cutting it out on the other paper, I feel like that just gives it a little bit of that beachy, flowery Hawaiian look, although it's not in Hawaii, it was in Florida. And you can see I tied a little piece of twine around the B on beach, trying to decide if I want to pop that up. I think I will, but I actually cut out the letters twice. I did it on the light side of Misty Moonlight. I'm going to hold this up so you can see. And then the paper, and then I layered it just to give it just a little bit of dimension because the letters are so slim. Now, I was going through the dies that I got, that we got on day 4, and I found this. So I think I'm going to replace that O and use this as the O for on beach time. So this will be my O instead. Okay, if I use these little dimensionals, I think I really want to pop that up. And these look to be the perfect size. I'm going to put a couple on, just make sure. Because I do not want them to show through. I'm going to show a little bit. Have to put them on just right. Okay, now I'm ready to add these letters. We will glue these on. Glue. Here we go. On beach time. Okay. Now, let's see. We've used the twine. Set that up here. And we have used the cards from here. Let's see if I want to add any of these anywhere. Got a few little flowers. Don't know if I'm going to put those there or not. Don't need that. And I've used the die cuts from day 4. Let's see. See if I've got any sentiments that I want to put in here. Could do always in my heart. I could stamp that right there and write the date of the trip and probably where we are on that long one. So let's put always in my heart. And I'm thinking about stenciling. Trying to use all of our products here. Let's see. Let's do this. I'm going to set this over to the side and bring out my little scrap paper again. And let's do some stenciling. I want to go ahead and stamp first. That way I will know where that is. I'm going to do this little one here. Let's see. That one's two. Oh, this one's one. So let's do this first. I'm just going to put this down so it doesn't move, and then let's make a mark so I know how to line my stencils up. I call them stencils. I think some people call them mask. It's just something I have always said. I get used to some of these different terms. I'm going to go ahead and do those two. I marked the first one and I forgot to mark the second one, but let's just go ahead and we'll do this one dark. This was this little flower here. Trying to see where to line this up. Okay, I think. There we go. Oh, I need a little bit of yellow. Crushed curry. Let's see. This has the center for the flowers. That would be, oops, come off right there. Just a little bit of yellow. That one. And let's get this one. There. Okay. So we have incorporated our stencils. And let's bring our page back over. Lovely. I think that works very well. Let's go ahead and add this. This is kind of like my little journaling piece that I'll write the place and date. Let's pop this one up. Okay. While I have this out, I'm going to use this little stenciling brush and just make these flowers a color. I'm just dabbing it onto the ink pad. Other things that you can do is you can use a water brush and just kind of paint the color on. Just adds a little color there. I may leave the stem white. I don't know. I might go blue. See if I can get some of the yellow color out so that it doesn't look green. Before I do it, not too bad. I know there's green right there. I don't have a lot of green, so I'm just going to go blue. There. What do you think? Didn't know that you could use the little stencil brush on these also. So that came in very handy. Need some more blue color right there. Okay. So I may put this over on the other page. I feel like this has plenty of things on it. Just kind of do like as a little embellishment piece right there. Okay, let's see what else we've got. I might place these here. I was looking through my little die cuts and I found this little tag. And I think I want to use this, but not as a tag. I'm going to cut off these pieces. This one off here. And this little flower piece. And let's see what I do like the little tab up there at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Okay. Let's add this one down here as well. Let's put adhesive on the back. Oops. Okay. Now let's see. I have some gold bling I can use. I also have some of these flowers, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but I found a teeny tiny clear heart. So I think I will add that. Just need just a teeny tiny dot of glue. And I'll use my quick pick tool, which I found yesterday. You know, I was looking for it. It was under something, of course. And I'll use that to put that on there. And let's pour out some of these. I really, really do like these little teeny tiny flowers. So I'm going to pour some of these out. Some of the different embellishments. Let's see. I can use some of these different ones. It's got the teensy tiny butterflies. So let's put out a few of these gold embellishments too. And I'm going to add a couple of the little flowers. Quick pick tool makes it so easy. Let's see, I'm going to put a tiny butterfly there. I really like that. And let's just add a couple little bit of bling. I think I've used a lot of the products from throughout the 12 days. So let's get a close look at this page here, which we've got product from day 12, which we inked. And then we have our stencil or our mask that we used on another product from day 12, which is the big laser cut circle. But we're using the sentiment shape here, which it has a little bit of gold dots on it. If you can see that. That I will write the date and place. And then our little flowers that were from day 12, the tag from day 4 from the die cut shapes that we got, and of course the paper, and more of the paper, some die cut shapes, our little bling. Just do that close up so you can see how that looks. But I think I'm pretty happy with the day 12 layout. So again, this layout template and pattern and instruction will be included in my 12 days of crafting guide that you will get when you purchase the 12 days of crafting box. So thank you for joining me for these 12 days. I hope you have enjoyed creating, watching me create, and I hope this inspires you to create also.